Hey everybody, welcome to a special edition of ChickenMan, Back to Work. This is an interview with Jared Drummond on my first day back to work since March 14th. That was the last day I worked on an entertainment industry job. And we talk about, we're in the truck driving around town in North Hollywood in the Valley, doing pickups. And you get to see a little bit in the back of the truck. We have conversations about how our industry's changed, kind of what our industry's like a little bit, some of the rules and protocols that we got to follow now, and then just also like a general feel around LA. And we also talk about Jared and his family, his 12-year-old daughter, her issues with going to school in the Culver School District, and kind of how some things have affected her. So this is a pretty interesting one, not just from the standpoint of like how Corona has changed the entertainment industry, but also just how it's kind of changed, starting to change the fabric of the society that we all live in. As well, a really interesting tidbit that we bring up in the interview. There's a laborious part where Jared and I try to do mental math in a truck while driving around, and it's pretty embarrassing. But essentially, the fact right now is that 3% of my union, the local 44, is working. So out of roughly 6,000 to 7,000 members, that means about 200 to 300 people are working. That's insane to me. So there's a lot of people in LA that are out of work, and I don't see that changing anytime in the near future. So this is definitely one worth watching the entire thing. Switch over to, after you watch the beginning of this on Instagram or Facebook, go ahead and switch over to either chickenmanontheRun.com or go to my YouTube, which is just YouTube/Grant Redwine, or Google Chicken Man on the Run or search for it on YouTube. And then if you can subscribe on there, that'd be dope. That helps me out, just so maybe more people can see this. So yeah, that's it. Here's an interview in a 5-ton truck driving around the mean streets of the valley north of Los Angeles, the San Fernando Valley. All right, Chicken Man on the run, back at work. Hey everybody, Chicken Man on the Run, episode 23 or something. I'm in a 5-ton studio truck with my friend Jared Drummond. He is a hyphenate in our industry. That means he's a Teamster. Oh, this camera work's going to be horrible, guys, so just bear with me. He is a Teamster and a art department 44 dude. And I'm on my first job since March 14th. Did I already say that? Because of coronavirus. And Jared is on his like 7th or 8th, right?
Yes.
So when did you start working again?
I started working in July 6th.
Oh, dude, so you started working early.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, July 6th.
And it's been like union stuff or non-union?
All union.
All union. Okay,
all
that's
union.
great. So we are union dudes, but we can also work non-union.
Correct.
What is there to explain about that? Not much. But it seems like there's still a lot of union stuff. What are the projects been like? What have the ads been about? It's all been commercials?
I did one music video with Taylor Swift.
Okay.
And then the rest have been commercials.
Okay. And we are pulling into a prop house called History for Hire. We're working on, I don't know if I'm allowed to say, it's a Bud Light commercial with a guy with a bunch of tattoos on his face and stuff.
No, I don't think he's on it.
Oh, he's not? Oh, I thought Post Malone was on it.
No Post Malone in this job.
I thought this job was going to be cool, but it's not.
No.
All right, we're going to do this pickup at History for Hire, and we'll come back. All right, so we're back here in a truck. This is going to be ridiculous, but hopefully it's entertaining for everybody and they learn something about the entertainment industry. So we just picked up at History for Hire. What did we talk about with Pam there?
Oh, just how busy the prop houses were and how was going to the prop houses, how efficient, how much of a pain in the butt and time consuming.
And so your attitude in general, or like your experience in general, since you've done this, obviously this is my first day back, is people are more chill or more...
Yeah, definitely. People are definitely more chill and grateful to be back to work to a certain extent. They're not burnt out from work like we normally are. So there is a little less attitude from people for sure.
Yeah, a lot of people get attitude.
I mean, which I get because, you know, nobody wants to work, right? We all want to just be chilling and sitting on the beach and having a good time.
Which you were saying you really enjoyed. You've been like super grateful for all this time.
It's been awesome, yeah.
Like, what have you been up to?
I've been doing a lot of watching TV and reading books and working out and surfing and
when Governor Newsom would let you surf.
Yeah, once they open up the beaches again, I was able to get back into the beaches.
Time with your daughter, so that's been good.
Time with the daughter, it's been good.
Getting to see your kid grow up instead of working 90 hours a week.
Exactly. No, it's been really been actually kind of nice.
It's fucking awesome.
I mean, you know, financially it's a different story, but whatever.
How have you guys been handling that?
You know, we just basically told all of the bills that weren't necessary to
suck it.
Yeah.
Really?
just eat it. Yeah. You know, and I just paid the necessary bills and all the unnecessary. You know, those credit cards and those things that you don't necessarily need to pay. Right. I just told them to eat it.
Damn, dude, that's gnarly. Luckily, well, yeah, I've been able to stay current on everything except for I haven't paid my mortgage since May.
Well, that's kind of a big deal.
I know, now I say it flippantly, like, hey, is that Jay Leno? No.
Yeah, it was.
Was it Jay?
Yeah.
So up here in the valley, when we're driving around in these studio trucks, we're here by Burbank Airport. But Jay Leno's garage, but he has actually like 3 warehouses right around Burbank Airport, and we see him on a regular basis driving around in his old cars.
And motorcycles.
I got a great photo of him on a motorcycle. It's pretty dope.
Yeah.
So let's see, what else? So prop houses, what's it been like shooting, like on shooting crews?
Shooting crews has been, you know, depends on the job. Every job has been kind of different. You know, like the Taylor Swift job, since she's a big name talent, you know, nobody would, except for the essentials, were allowed around on set or on set. Okay. So all those shoot days, they cut me, and I wasn't even on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So they limited the crew.
Yeah, they limited the crew big time, and then depends on the job. Then some jobs have been not the case. They're a little bit more lackadaisical as far as like everybody being on set and doing their deal, as long as they wore their masks and stuff like that. And
so it just kind of depends on probably the production company, right?
Yeah, it depends on the company. Yeah, it depends on the talent and whether or not they, you know, were dealing with talent or not. Okay. You know? Yeah, but most of my jobs have been extremely small, very limited crew. Okay. About a third of the size that they normally are. And same with like the pickups and the dressing has been a third of the size of what they normally are.
Well, and you were saying like the crews you have been on, it's like you plus 2.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, so super small. So jobs that we work on, I would say a typical job is like 6-7 art department. Seems pretty average.
That would be a little bit more standard, yeah.
Yeah, and so doing a job with 1 plus only 2 other people is pretty difficult. This guy doesn't know where he's going. Yeah. What else? Oh, yeah, it's been, so you were saying it's interesting like how more efficient pickups have been. So part of our job is like what we're doing today is we're driving around in a truck, a 26-foot box truck with a 8-foot ceiling, or no, it's taller than that. What, 9 foot?
Yeah,
I don't know. Whatever.
9 plus.
9 plus. So we drive around, and actually we'll shoot a little video in the back of the truck too, so you can see some of that. But we drive around and pick up set dressing all over down from different prop houses, and then we drop it off at a set or a stage or whatever it is. Today we're going to be dropping it off at a stage. So typically you show up to a prop house and there's a organized chaos when the town's really busy. Like there's 7 trucks and you're in line and you're waiting and there's paperwork and all this stuff. And I've only done 2 pickups this morning, but you're saying like now everything's very like...
Yeah, everything is scheduled, you know. You either have a time for your pickup.
Okay. which that's crazy to me.
And then everything has been set aside and labeled to who you are picking up, and so it's been pretty contactless as far as like dealing with.
Even the employees of the prop house. You're not even.
I'm not even dealing with them for the most part, with the exception of signing a bit of paperwork.
Okay. Okay.
And even some places they don't even have you sign paperwork, like Modernica. They won't even come out and see you at all.
Really?
Yeah, you have to.
They just like flip the gate open and.
They don't have They don't have the loading docks. Loading docks are closed.
Oh, really?
So
Weird.
you have to call the front office and have them open up the gate to where the employee parks.
Shopping area?
Yeah, where the employee parks or the shoppers park.
Uh-huh.
And then you drive into there, and then they have your props set up for you and ready for you to pick up.
Oh, trippy. Okay.
It's completely contactless. You don't even see anybody. Same with when you do returns. It's the same case. You have to call them up. They have a little spot designated for returns, and you drop everything in that spot and you take
interesting. Off. Here's the famous Circus Liquors sign. We're at Burbank and Vineland in the Valley. Conca, have you been to? Is MoPro? Did they close?
MoPro's is gone.
MoPro's is gone.
Out of business.
Okay. Because they would be having like a meltdown dealing with this right now.
Yeah.
MoPro is Modern Props. It was a prop house with like a bunch of cool stuff in it, but they closed. So, how else do you feel about this, like work wise? Is it?
It's been different. It's been different. It's nice to be able to get back to work and make money again, and to be, working with my homeboys again and with the crews again.
Camaraderie is great.
Camaraderie and seeing people again is is nice.
Not just your family.
Not just family, but working in the masks gets old. It gets hot, gets sweaty. I've learned to add the little additions to my masks so it's not pulling on the back of my ears.
Oh, I saw that. I wondered what that was. Okay.
Yeah, because then after your first day of wearing the mask all day, just after a while, it just really pulls on your ears. And then by the end of the first week, you're just
miserable.
You're miserable because it's just so sensitive and raw at that point. And so I've learned to add a couple more tricks to the trade. Adding the little extensions to the.
Just more shit we need to keep with us on the job, basically.
More shit to keep with us. And then some jobs, depends on the job, depends on what they'll allow. Some jobs will allow just you to use your own mask, whereas other jobs require N95s. And they'll distribute those N95s.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Which, now what I heard, Dr. Barbara Ferrer, our county health commissioner in Los Angeles, who people have different opinions on, they just announced yesterday, finally, that the N95 mask with the blow-off valve is actually highly inefficient because it protects you, but it doesn't protect anyone from you.
Correct, yeah.
I don't understand. Why did it take them 6 months to figure that shit out? Okay, we share a common opinion on that. Yeah, I was like, wow, you guys couldn't have figured that out 6 months ago? Maybe
there seems to be a lot of confusion going on in these days.
There it is.
Confusion going on these days.
I feel like, we're all, hopefully we all have enough grace that we can get through it without being total jerks to each other.
Right? That's the key.
That's the goal. What else? Work-wise, I guess... It's still slow. I talked to our union rep on a job, and we were just talking about some concerns she had about the COVID things, and then certain people aren't being as careful as others. Right, I'm sure.
And so she was asking me how things were going on the job and everything like that. But in talking to her, She told me the numbers, which is 95% of our union is still out of work at this point.
Crap.
So we are in the lucky 5% at this point to be working.
Frack, man. That's 44 rep?
44, yes.
Okay, so we're in the local 40. I'm in the local 44. Jared's in the local 44. That's the affiliated property crafts people. And so we're props, set dressing, all that art department stuff. And then Jared is also in the 399, which is the film Teamsters Union. So that's why he's driving this big truck. So the 44, which I think we have about 7,000 members only, and I had heard that too, like 3% or something are working.
Right.
Somebody do the quick math on that. Was 7,000, 1% would be 70. So no, is that right? Now I look like a moron.
Well, let's just do a 5,000 because then it'll be a lot easier.
We're that dumb that we gotta dumb down the math. No, minus 2 zeros from 7,000. That's 70 times 3. That means 210 people out of 7,000 are working.
Yeah.
Right? 3%? Yeah. Because 10% would be
700.
700. So yeah, okay. 210 people are working out of 7,000. Mm-hmm. Sorry we made you sit through that. What else?
Yeah.
So, shit, I don't know.
Have you done any? You haven't done any testing then, obviously.
I've not tested.
This is your first job.
Yep. Have you had to do testing?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah, the Taylor Swift job was mandatory.
Okay.
Mandatory testing on that, and then I've had a couple jobs after that where they've offered testing, but it wasn't mandatory because they weren't.
That's weird.
They're not going to pay you for your time.
To get tested?
Well, because you got to go on your day off to go get tested. So nobody wants to pay you to go get tested.
So they don't really care.
So they don't make it mandatory, because if they made it mandatory, then they would have to pay you. See what I'm saying?
So I see what you're saying, but what I'm trying to understand the back end on it. Like, so if I go get tested on my own time, not getting paid, and I come up positive, then I just screwed myself out of the job?
Yeah, but you should not be working if you're positive anyways.
Well, I get that, but well, I don't know. Okay.
So
we'll edit that part out. Yeah, no, that makes sense, I guess. Shoot, I don't know.
Yeah.
Dude, I have been to this place, Woody's.
Yeah, you've been to this place.
Okay. That's the other.
It's been years.
Crazy thing about working in this industry is after 10 years of doing this, I still am learning new places and new things. Oh yeah, because this is North Hollywood Ice. I know where I am.
You know where you're at.
I know where I am. What do you think? You think work's going to start picking up, or what do you think it's just going to be this slow burn?
I think it'll be slow until they really get a handle on this COVID thing, especially with the film and TV, because I don't think they want to take the risk of starting up and then having to shut back down again, or having anybody come up with the COVID. You know what I mean?
Well, I think the fear too. I know the fear I've heard is, oh yeah, I've been here.
Yeah.
He's got I heard like got a bunch of like science projects or something.
Yeah.
I know the big fear too is just like, do you need help backing in? All right. Jared's a very capable driver. Yeah, one of the big issues is the fear of production insurance and them being able to actually cover whatever they have to cover. So, all right, we're gonna do this pickup and then we may sign back on.
You gotta keep it the same, otherwise it'll look different.
You gotta keep it the same, otherwise it'll look different. Film industry, baby. So yeah, this is the back of a truck. Gate goes down. All right, so we're back again. We just did a pickup. You probably saw a little back end of a truck thing. What's catering and crafty and all that stuff been like?
Catering and crafty has been kind of definitely the downside for sure.
So we work in an industry where we are spoiled as hell, especially in commercials, and they give us breakfast every morning, like a hot, nice breakfast, coffee, espresso. I don't want to sound too bougie. They give us lunch, and then if you work over 12 hours, 12 and a half, 13 hours, a lot of times they bring you dinner as well. So we have become, and then we've got snacks all day long, which are called crafty, which are like
Yeah, normally
most crafty people are. It's good.
Yeah,
it's good stuff.
Normally, it's just a table with a whole bunch of food.
Yeah.
You know, all sorts of snacks and things that you just go to and you just grab what you want to grab. Nowadays, however, it's a table and then a table that separates you from the table.
So you're 6 feet away from
So
it?
you're 6 feet away from the table.
Cool.
And then you look at the table and then you tell the craft service person what you want and then they'll hand it to you. Nothing,
That's a trip.
nothing is like, sometimes they would do homemade stuff and bring in homemade things and stuff like that. Nothing is like that.
Yeah, there's some awesome craft. They call them pass arounds.
Yeah.
Where they would cook something.
Correct. Yeah.
For us the day of.
Right.
Yeah, and like throughout the day, like 4 or 5 times a day.
Yeah. Then they'd come around with like some fresh pot stickers they just made, or some Swedish meatballs, or a veggie plate, or meat and cheese plate.
Yeah, and which is why we'll walk like 20,000 steps in a day, and we can still gain weight at work. Right? It's like we're busting our butts, sweating our asses off,
but we're still
running miles basically, and we're just pounding snacks all day long.
So those days are over.
Okay, that's a bummer.
So now you have to go to craft service, tell them what you want. They'll hand it to you. Everything is prepackaged, including like apples and bananas are in bags and stuff.
Oh, trippy. Okay. What's craft or what's catering like?
Catering, depending on the job. Some jobs it's a drop off where they'll just find out what your preference is. Chicken, beef, or veggie, or whatever.
So you fill out an order or something?
Yeah, or you email it. They'll send out an email saying these are our options.
Okay.
What do you want?
What do you want? Okay.
And then you pick your food to have it dropped off, and then you'll have nice cold meal waiting for you when it's lunchtime. It's been sitting around for a while and it's probably not so good. Or there is a catering truck, which has been on a few times, and then the catering truck is normal, like a normal catering truck.
Okay.
Just the exception is at lunchtime they have all the tables set up, our 6-foot tables, and 2 people per table, and either end of it.
Oh, dude, we need to start just a table rental company.
So, the table rentals has just been blowing up.
I'm gonna go buy 100 tables tonight.
Because every job has
Man, I would think
thousands of tables.
Yeah, they'll have to get over that pretty soon, but.
Well, yeah, I mean, because then
That's
also too,
insane.
like pop-ups and all that stuff.
And floor space, like.
Yeah, because that's what I mean. Like before, they would get like 4 pop-ups and put the tables underneath it. Now they have to have like
Pop-ups are like those pop-up tents that, because so that's another interesting thing about what we do is we eat in some really weird random locations. Well, not random, they're tied to wherever we're working, but a parking lot under the 6th Street Bridge, or a cemetery, or just wherever we are shooting whatever we're shooting. That's where we end up eating lunch. What do you think about coronavirus, Jared?
in regards to
like answer that however you want.
I think it's annoying. I think it sucks.
Ooh, watch out for this Prius.
I think
that's another benefit of driving in LA in a production truck, is you got to constantly watch out for the Prius drivers.
Always. I think it sucks. I personally haven't known anybody who's been affected by it, other than a guy at the grocery store down the street that I frequent, things like that, but nobody I personally intimately know. Intimately.
No one. You haven't caught it from anyone intimately.
And
we won't tell
I definitely have not caught it.
You've definitely not. Oh, because you've been tested multiple times. So we were talking about testing. Was there anything else about that you thought was interesting, or?
They've set up in our business. They've set up some companies that specifically deal with our business.
Right.
So there's I forgot the name of the company, but one of them was
Oh, watch out.
production testing,
there's people who have already set up companies.
Yeah, so there's a company specifically for this, and then they'll just set up at some, restaurant, something or other, staged outside of some place.
You show up.
You drive up. They don't even leave your vehicle. They'll swab your, swab you up, and then send it off to the lab.
Interesting.
And so you literally just drive up, do your tests, and then drive away.
Okay.
And then you have a set time, of course, for that.
So like the regular type of testing, just for production only?
Just for production, yeah, correct, yeah.
Cool.
That test sucks too, man.
Why?
Just because, my nose is busted, from all the various activities that I've done in my life. And
we're in Hollywood, man. You figure that out for yourself.
And so when they swabbed it, I told them, I'm like, my nose is busted. And they're like, sure. And then they swabbed me. But each time they swabbed me, I coughed because it's just a natural reaction. Just like them jamming something up my...
It's a sensitive area up in there, dude.
Exactly. And then I felt it, the area they swabbed for the next couple days.
Oh, really? Was it
a
little sensitive?
It was sensitive,
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How old's your kiddo?
My kid is 12 years old.
Okay. So how has this been affecting her? I can't remember if you have
a daughter. Yeah.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah. She, it's, obviously she hasn't been able to hang out with her friends. Hasn't been able to go to school. So all of her school has been online. School is actually starting up again either next week or the week after.
Okay.
I think we've got 2 weeks.
It's coming up.
Yeah,
soon.
But yesterday she went to her orientation where she got her classes, and you do all that kind of stuff. And they have set up appointments. It's not like before where you go.
So she physically went there.
Yeah, because you have to physically grab books, school pictures, student ID, that kind of stuff. But
what grade is she?
She's going into 7th grade.
Okay.
And so, normally when that happens, you have a time, a day, and you just show up and everybody's there and you do the thing. But this is all appointments only. So people, they control the amount of people who are there and how what the exposure is.
And where does she go to school?
She goes to Culver City Middle School.
Okay. So that's a public school.
Public school.
Is that part of LAUSD?
It's not part of LAUSD.
Okay.
It's its own school district.
Oh, good. Good job.
Yeah. So
because LAUSD is
a hot mess.
Trash.
Yeah, they're
unfortunately
struggling to get a handle on it, and Culver City is very proactive. It's been very good. Our experience with them has been very
that's
proactive.
Awesome. So they are going to go back to classes or no?
They are going to do hybrid teaching, which means they'll be doing, they offered options.
Okay.
So you could do in-school teaching, hybrid teaching, or completely out-of-school teaching.
Okay.
Hybrid teaching meaning that, you'll go back to school when it's safe, and then it'll be online until then.
Okay.
And then when they do go back to school, it'll be limited going back to school, certain classes and certain days.
So psychologically, how do you think your daughter's doing? Have you noticed anything? Any weird behavior?
My daughter's at a weird stage where she's in 7th grade. She doesn't have, she's not extremely social in the sense where she has a lot of friends that she goes out and hangs out with.
Okay.
Most of her friends she plays online games with or does online things with already. So that hadn't changed too much other than the fact that she doesn't go and see people. Okay. But it definitely affected her though. She definitely became more despondent and
really?
Harder.
You saw that?
Yeah, and harder to deal with as far as just being more rebellious.
Oh, really?
And more.
So there's behavior stuff too.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Well, because she just you take away. There's no longer routine anymore.
Right.
And now, it's been struggling to maintain a routine, and especially during the summer breaks. Normally we would have her in camps. We would have her in sports events and things, things of that nature. But she can't do any of that stuff. So, she'll be watching YouTube videos until 4 o'clock in the morning, and then sleeping in until noon or whatever.
Yeah.
So she doesn't have that kind of regimen anymore.
Dude, I know for myself at the very beginning, I had no regiment.
Yeah, I mean,
and I was a total train wreck. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh yeah, it's kind of good to go to bed at the same time every day, wake up at the same time. I exercise every morning now. I've got like a good diet. I feel healthier than I've ever felt in my life. And it's like, oh yeah, the little order that's good for you.
Yeah, getting the routine is good, but it has definitely been difficult in this time.
Yeah, that's tough,
I definitely struggle with myself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've
just like fucking off for days on end.
Yeah, and then some days I'll like stay up. I'll be the same with. I'll be staying up till 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
I don't sleep. I can't. I'm not a teenager anymore, so I can't sleep in like I used to.
Yeah.
But I still my sleep schedule is completely screwed.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I think exercise has been the most helpful thing for me and all that. I've noticed.
Yeah.
And staying hydrated.
Yeah.
It's like the standard shit they tell you.
Yeah.
Like, here's how you take care of yourself. Oh, okay, that actually works. Cool. That's the way I've done it.
Yeah. I've always had a pretty good exercise schedule and routine.
Yeah.
But sleep is still something that I struggle with.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is how much that compromises our immune system too. And they're not talking about that at all as far as like having a healthy immune system.
Oh yeah, and eating right and all that kind of stuff. Like those are the kind of things we really should be focusing on.
Yeah, 100%.
Making sure our diet and health is where it needs to be.
For sure. Well, you want to add anything else about Corona, entertainment industry, thoughts on your mind?
No, I'm just looking forward to this all being in the past and moving on.
Right, dude.
I mean, in a lot of ways, it's been a struggle and it's been difficult, but I feel like it's just like when 9/11 happened. When 9/11 happened, there was a lot of changes that took place, a lot of things that became more of a pain in the ass. Things you had to deal with, security measures and that kind of stuff. But then after time went away, a lot of that stuff kind of slacked off a bit.
Lighten up
a bit, and
and if we find a vaccine, I think but who knows? It may not change, dude.
I'm not putting any hope in a vaccine or anything like that.
Well, and we may be wearing masks forever. Who knows?
But I don't see the problem with the masks per se, because like the Japanese culture have been doing it for years, and I mean I think it's understandable if you're sick or if you're fearful of being sick. Maybe you feel like your immune system is a little compromised at the moment. Maybe you want to take precautions, or if you feel like you're coming down with something, certainly wearing a mask is considerate to others, and it's a way of slowing spread of whatever it is you have.
For sure.
Whether it be it COVID or a flu or whatever.
Yeah.
So as long as I think those things, if we accept those kind of behaviors, that's not a bad thing.
No. Well, and just more cleanliness.
Yeah, and exactly, being more conscientious of washing our hands and how we go about our day-to-day routines. That's not.
No, it's not a bad.
That's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad change at all.
Those are good changes, I think.
Have you seen any? So you see some positive change happening.
Oh yeah, but I think like it'll be a positive change, and then it's definitely gone overboard.
Right.
But eventually once things go away.
Yeah, hopefully we reel it back in and get just to what we need. And
exactly.
Then, I know, just being in the back of the truck just now in the heat with the mask on and like moving stuff around, that was frustrating for me. So.
Oh yeah.
It's hard to work with a mask on, especially when you're moving. How much do you think those things weigh, dude? Those big steel things. Moving like 900 pound.
Yeah.
700 pound maybe?
Yeah, 700, 900 pound. Yeah, for sure.
Steel cabinets and 85 degree heat.
At least 5 for sure.
Let's go 5. So we're not exaggerating. 5. Okay.
Yeah.
Lord. All right. Well, ChickenMan on the run. We're going to call this a special episode. Still running. ChickenMan out.
Peace out, y'all.